An internet troll is a person who lives on the internet picking fights to get attention. They troll forums, posting insulting comments, trying to hook people and provoke them. A troll is the least popular person in a forum, as they are often jealous and lonely. They are called trolls because they resemble two separate meanings of the word. One, verb, to drag a hook through the water, trying to catch a fish. They try to hook internet users in their game. Two, noun, an ugly monster who lives alone in a cave, trying to scare or eat people. Internet troll caves are said to be their mother's basements.
Exactly what it says. Insane carts. Oh my god. I gotta drink some coffee to that. What's up, Nitro Nation? Muggy Maniac is in the cave. Early morning. I gotta be to work early this morning. It is almost 3:15. Yep, sometimes you got to get up and when you don't want to get up. Sometimes you got to work when you don't want to work. Sometimes you just got to do things that you don't want to do so you can afford the things that other people can't afford to do later. Short-term hard work, long-term, I don't want to say laziness, but, you know, you get to reap the fruits of your labor, so to speak. So we have trolls. That's pretty cool. I know what an internet troll is, but I wanted you guys to kind of see what, if you YouTube that or Google it, that's what it pulls up. That's what a troll is. So that's to all you trolls out there. Now, the go-kart thing, that is dedicated to my Nitro brother family affairs. So, shout out. I'm gonna give some shout outs, but the first one and most important one right now is family affairs. So, family affair, if you're watching this, shout out to you. We've had some bad blood as of recently, but hopefully we've squashed that now. Thanks to a large part, thanks to another guy that I'm going to give a shout out to, Just Joe. If it wasn't for Just Joe, by the way, shout out to Just Joe, my Nitro brother for life. Happy. Yesterday was him and his wife, I believe, anniversary. So happy anniversary, Joe, to you and your lovely wife. Actually, more happy anniversary to her for putting up with you for this long. I'm just kidding. Me and Joe are tight. He's my, not just Nitro brother. I think of some of these guys that I'm going to mention as, even though I've never met them, it's kind of crazy. I've never met these guys, but it seems like we're like real brothers. Like, I would do just about anything for these guys. I would take a bullet for most of these guys because they have been there for me whenever I needed somebody to talk to. They've always supported me. They've never stabbed me in the back. They've always told me the truth, even though I didn't like it. A lot of them have always kept me in line when I just wanted to do, or say stupid things like the Muggy does sometimes. These guys have been there to mentor me and to just be my friends. And that's what this is all about. This whole YouTube thing, I never started this thing like almost 5 years ago now to be a social guru. I never started it to be, some guy that's, got thousands of subscribers and all that. You know what I mean? I've got almost 300 subscribers, and it's taken a long time to get those. And like I told you in the last video, partially because I was just the guy that people just love to hate, because I'm always keeping it real, because I say things that are real and people just don't want to hear. I don't sugarcoat it or candy coat. I don't blow smoke up anybody's ass, and I never have and I never will. And because of that, a lot of people have been critical of me and have given me a lot of shit. And and I take it. It's, big deal. But anyway, shout out to this guy, Family Affairs. We said some things that we shouldn't have said. I made fun of him on a video, not making fun of him, but kind of took some jabs at him. Okay, that he took personal. Although he said things to me though too that crossed the line. And for him to be man enough to apologize to me for what he said to me, that means a lot. Okay, and he apologized and he said he's sorry, and hopefully we buried the hatchet. And then and I did tell him that I accepted his apology and all that, but I wanted to make a video, not just on that. I mean, there's other things I'm going to share with you guys what's going on. I have 3 videos that I did running one of the buggy with the 28.8 modified Rex Legend in it. The other video that I made of the, well, it's getting torn down right now, of the MBX7 T Truggy with the modified RCR, which, by the way, there's the scratch right there. Son of a biscuit. Yep, the Muggy gone and did it. Muggy put a trophy on his beautiful modified Rex. That's okay. She runs like a freaking like a champ, so we're good. But anyway, shout out to Family Affairs. Go watch the guy, people. I highly recommend him. This guy knows his shit. This guy is a full-on gearhead. It's another reason. Us gearheads, you know, another reason too that Joe, obviously Joe has talked to this guy more than I have, and like I said, Joe kind of set a lot of this up because I was really not gonna. This was one of the 4 guys that I mentioned that are on my shit list for life. Okay, so he's off the list. There's still 3 more, which I don't really believe these guys are ever gonna do what this guy did and have, you know, be man enough to make an apology to me for, you know, for a lot of the shit that they said, because I just don't think they will, and that's fine. Obviously, this guy reached out to Joe. Joe reached out to him, and I trust Joe. Okay, Joe sends me cigars. Joe sends me a lot of gifts. Me and Joe talk a lot. You know, he's from New York. He lives right around the corner from Mr. Za. He is Italian, by the way, just Joe. But anyway, he set a lot of this up because he's seen that something in Family Affairs that I didn't see because I really didn't see anything, but I didn't really care for the guy because, like I said, you know, we made comments, he made comments, and we said a lot of things to each other, so, you know. But anyway, that's all water under the bridge now. You know, hopefully we can go on from this. I recommend going to his channel. Give the guy some subs. Give the guy some loves. Family Affair. Shout out to you. The go-kart thing. Let me tell you a little bit about go-karting. You know, and I know he used to do that. Formerly, he used to race. That's like not really the racing videos that I show. That's some insane go-kart. They've got 500cc, 500. There was some 500 horsepower on there. There was some shit with Ducati 900 Ducati motors in them. I mean, there's some crazy go-karts. But the racing ones, 125, 100cc, different classes. I never raced them professionally, but I worked for a company called Fast Lap, and they're not too far. Matter of fact, they're right down the street from the Revelations track that Adam Drake runs his whips at sometimes. And I did a lot of the marketing for them. But I was able to. It's an indoor go-kart track, gas cars, you know, and they're like 80 cc's, 100 cc's. They have smaller ones, 50 cc's. But I got a chance to race them around the track, and it was pretty cool. Indoor tracks are a little bit different. They're kind of slick, but it was fun. I remember my friend was talking shit to me one time when we went out there and raced, and I buried his ass in the wall and ended up spanking him. I think I almost lapped him. But anyway, it was fun. Like I said, I never raced professionally, but I rode them. And they have the electric ones. You've seen in that video, there's an electric one. Some of the electric ones, which out here, it's a track called K2. They're popular in Southern California. It's called K2. It's an indoor electric go-kart. I didn't like the electric ones, even though they were fast. I just like the gas ones. I'm just a brap head. I'm just a gearhead, motor head, whatever you want to call me. So anything gas, pistons, you know, the electric things has been through all that. Been there, done it, like I told you guys in the past. I raced E-Words 10 scale for many years back in the days. Okay, built my own batteries just like Mr. Zoss, soldered my own batteries together, all that. So, you know, I have, I guess, a lot more patience now, and I just like the real thing. I like the real deal Holyfield, people. I'm not into the electric doesn't do nothing for me. So anyway, again, shout out to Family Affairs. Thank you, you know, for you know, manning up and apologizing. I hope you accept my apology for taking jabs at you about the go-kart and you know, some other things. But hopefully we can move on from here, and, you know, Family Affairs, if you have, you know, you want to make any comments, you're free to come on my channel, make comments, you know, help some people, because that's what it's about. He mentioned that he does this, he doesn't want to get big, either do I. I can't help from having 300 subscribers. I don't even want those. I can't help from all the views that I get or videos, but, you know, I guess there isn't anybody out there. You know, there really isn't. If you look on YouTube, there isn't any nitro gearhead, 100% gearhead out there that's doing the shit that I'm doing. You know, next level whips like this sexy beast right here, packing some heat. Look at that. Bam! What is that? Oh snaps! That's the Pico P3.28. 7-port monster. Modded by who? Damn. Mr. Rick Brake, RB Mods. One of my favorite motors and one of my favorite whips. Bam. I only have 4 whips, as you know. One of them is an RTR, which is, this is my scrub. My scrub whip is right here. Okay? She's on hiatus. We're looking for a center diff for her. If you guys find a center diff for a Mammoth, XTM Mammoth ST, let me know. They're hard to find, but I will find one. Meantime, I'm running my other whips. So what I'm going to show you here next, and I'm sure you guys have already seen it, flashes here, and you're like, what the hell is that, Muggy? Is that what I think it is? Oh, shit. How in the hell did these things get in the Muggy's cave? Is that a Rebo? Is that a what I call a reject? Holy shit, Muggy, what are you doing? What? What? Is that a tea bag? That is a tea bag. Look at this. Fucking, excuse my language, pull start bullshit. Either you got a pull start, or here. You got a easy start. Easy garbage. So why are these in the cave of the Muggy? Huh. I know I'm going to get a bunch of heat for this, but before you guys, jump to conclusions. Remember I said family's first, right? Well, family is first, on a serious note. My cousin came to me. My cousin Vincent. My cousin Vinny. His name's Vincent, but call him Vinny. Remember like the movie My Cousin Vinny? With Marissa Tomei and Joe Pesci? By the way, that movie, I love that movie. Now, Marissa Tomei, that's a sexy woman that knows her automobiles. If you guys have seen the movie. So my cousin Vincent came to me and he said, hey, I got a couple vehicles that I want to get running for my kids. And I'm like, well, what are they? Oh, he goes, they're nitro vehicles. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, man, yeah. He goes, yeah, I know you work on them, don't you? And I said, yeah. And I said, he goes, yeah, I got a couple of them. I don't know if they haven't ran in a while. One of them I started up, but, I need you to get them running for me. So I'm like, okay. So he shows up with these Traxxas. He says, before you say anything, and I said, bro, you know how much I hate Traxxas. He says, I know, but it's family. It's for my kids. I said, I know, I understand. No worries. It's for his, these are family, he's my cousin. His kids would be considered, what, my second cousins? Yeah. So it's for them. Boy, I'll tell you what, and I've worked on these before, and I've owned Traxxas. I've never owned Traxxas Nitros, but I've owned their E-Words. I had a Bandit was my first one. I had a Traxxas Sledgehammer. I had a Traxxas Hawk. I had a few different Traxxas. I had a lot of the older ones before I don't even think they had Nitro back then when I had them. But anyway, I'm looking at these things and it's reiterating and reinforcing why I hate Traxxas and why they suck. These things are the biggest, excuse my language, piece of shit headaches. Like, I don't know how people even spend their money or waste their money on these damn things. Worst thing I've ever seen. Let me set you guys up here for a second. Look at those piece of shits. So anyway, we're gonna get them things working for my cousin, or for my second cousins. As much as I hate Traxxas, it is family, and family is first. Family is important. Another thing that's cool is he wants me, I don't know when, he wants me to build him a whip. I think he might want me to build him a Techno. He said he wants to spend about $2,000. He wants the best shit, so I said, well, that won't be easy That won't be, I should say, that won't be hard to do. You can put $2 grand into one of these 8-scale monsters. Sorry about that, people. Hear my voice fading out. This is my first cup of coffee. I'm not really awake yet, so I wasn't even going to do a video until I had at least 3 cups of coffee in me, because if I don't have at least 3 cups of coffee in me, the muggy can't function. Oh yeah. Alright, so where were we? So anyway, this is a Revo, I call it a reject. Like, why in the hell would anybody do this suspension? Is fucking retarded. Excuse my language. All the reverse, the mechanisms in this thing, the way, I mean, it's not even a, how can you call this thing a nitro? It has an E-word motor on it. How is that a nitro? That's more like a hybrid. This is not a nitro. No wonder people quit. Now that's the last couple days working on these things. Now I know why people that get these things quit nitro. One of the main reasons they quit nitro these days is because of this garbage. Because of this bullshit. Garbage. I don't know which one's worse. This is an easy start. At least this one doesn't have an E-word on it. It's got a .15. Which I don't even understand why you would put a .15 on a vehicle with tires this size. It's not even a, well, they say they're not 8 scales. I don't know why they don't list, Traxxas doesn't list these as an 8 scale. It's the size of an 8 scale, I think it is. But they're not called 8 scales, they're called 10 scales. Correct me if I'm wrong. You know, this one, look at this one. This is what you get when you got this one, look. Pull start bullshit. I don't even know. I told my cousin, you know, because I was working on these things the last couple days, I said, you know what, your pull start, take a shit on here, so you're going to need a new pull start. I don't know why this thing, it doesn't want to recoil. Like when you pull it, it gets stuck like that, so that needs to be replaced. You can finger it like this. I'm rolling it to try to get it back in. See? Look at that. There you go. What a joke. Now I know, man, I so don't miss pull starts, man. I don't even know how people deal with pull starts, really, to be honest with you. You know, watch. And then it gets stuck. Look. There you go. There's your pull start. So that's one headache. That has to be replaced. I don't know. He's going to want that replaced. This thing, the problem that happened with this one is, check this out. See this is the high-end needle. See that threading there? If you can see down in there, here I'll get a screwdriver so I can point to it. Okay. Can you see down in there? See that right there? That's where it screws into. That's plastic. The high-end needle screws into this plastic little deal on the carburetor. And that plastic thing right there, it's stripped out inside of there. So, fuel's pouring out of there. Now, I got them started. I got them idling. But, like I said, I mean, he's paying me to do this. Because I will. You know, even though he's family, he offered, because I told him, I said, bro, I don't work on really Traxxas because they're just, it's not worth me wasting my time working on them in the first place. I tried to talk him out of it. I said, bro, you need to get rid of these things, sell them to somebody that's a Traxxas lover, a hugger. I call them Traxxas huggers, and somebody will buy them because they are popular. For whatever reason, a lot of people accept this garbage and they think they're the best thing since sliced bread, not knowing it's the worst thing ever to happen to 8 scale or ever to happen to nitro. One of the worst things that could ever happen to nitro besides Horizon is Traxxas. You guys know how much I hate Horizon. I hate Traxxas just as much or more, because while on one hand you got Horizon kicking us in the balls, discontinuing shit all the time. You know, all the stuff they discontinued. By the way, I heard they're going to discontinue some more shit. Nitro and fit scale, which doesn't surprise me. Like I said, if you're a Losi guy and you're still holding on to to some kind of hope that Losi will make a comeback, I'm here to tell you that you're wasting your time. As long as Horizon controls and owns TLR and Losi, which they do, there's no hope for Losi. Losi is dead. Period. I don't know how many times I got to say that over how many videos I've made. Losi, the dynasty, TLR is dead. They will never be what they used to be. Ever. As long as Horizon owns them, they're doomed. I wouldn't be surprised if they discontinue all of Losi shit, including the 4.0 buggy, which was probably next on the chop block, and the 5T. You know, I've heard of a 2.0 maybe coming out, the 5B. I don't know. I just know people that work for Horizon, okay? People that work for, you know, A-Main. I have a lot of connections and people that I talk to periodically, and all I know is that Horizon sees that most of their money, especially now that the winter's going to be coming up and the off-season of racing, this is when you're going to see a lot of shit change. Like I told you guys, and mark my words, come 2010 or 2020, there's going to be a lot of changes in 8-scale nitro. NRC period, but mostly in 8-scale nitro. Very few good things, which would be a lot of some of the manufacturers, you know, the top dogs in nitro or RC in general, coming out with their new whips. One bright spot to this year has been, you know, what Horizon on one hand is discontinuing shit. You know, great companies like Techno are coming out with the 4.0, or they came out with the 2.0 NB. Okay, buggy, which is a pretty sick-ass buggy. I would like to get one, although I'm not paying that much for a new whip. There's no way I'm paying close to $800 for anything. I can get 2 of these used in mint condition with all kinds of goodies for that price. Cheaper even. Now, when they come out with their new Truggy, I don't know. Maybe the Muggy might get a new Techno and build it. Who knows? But anyway, there's going to be, you know, other things in 8-scale nitro next year that you're going to see happen that aren't going to be so good. You know, it's the way it is. The economy and the way our society dictates a lot of this hobby, unfortunately. There's not a lot of gearheads out there anymore. Not a lot of people in corporate situations that think like we do. You know, let's come out with some cool 8-scale nitro stuff that's good quality, that people can have fun with, and people can enjoy real breathing, piston pumping, fuel drinking, farting, like Mr. Zaz says, badass nitro shit. Instead, they're going to give you headaches like, well, actually Traxxas isn't really going to give you much of anything in nitro anymore. So anyway, I'm working on these. These are for my cousins. That's the only reason they're even in my damn cave. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be touching them. Now, I started working on them, like I said, and I ran into these issues, so I told my cousin, what do you want to do, man? This is going to cost you more money now. You know, you want these things to run for your kids, I understand. But I'm just telling you, man, these things are headaches. You know, I will get them running. I will get them dialed in for my cousin. But other than that, you know, they're just, when I start looking at these things and as I'm ranching on them, I'm just thinking, my gosh, I would quit too. If I had one of these and ran into issues, I would quit nitro. I understand. Especially bullshit like this. Joke. These things are a joke. So anyway, now let's talk about the whips action. The last running video, the first running video you got 2-3 videos ago before, we ran this thing for the first time. This is the first time I've ran the modified 28.8 Rex Legend, which is modified by who? Bam! By RB Mods. Rick did a really good job on this motor. I like it. I love it. I like all my Rex Legends, but in a buggy, like I was talking to one of my brothers, big motors are fun in buggies, but I think you're limited to what the motor really can do because it's in a smaller platform. You got to remember that. You're running a big motor in a smaller, it's an 8-scale platform, but compared to these Truggies are designed for, I believe, or actually the motors work better, I should say, because they don't design these things for anything but a .21. They're race kits, okay? Mugans, Kyosho's, Technos, Hot Bodies, Associated, you know, X-Rays. Those truggies are designed, when they build them, to have a badass .21 in it. Stock. Nothing modified or anything. So, but they can handle the bigger motors a lot differently than the buggies do. The buggy is a lot more squirrely. It's like a little squirrel. It's very nimble. Yes, I agree with, because I asked Family Affairs, because I know he doesn't own any truggies. He just prefers the buggies, and that's fine. I like both. You know, I like both, because when you're rocking this thing and running this thing, it's like the equivalent of running a, you know, it's like running like a go-kart. This would be like running a 100cc go-kart, okay? Or 125cc or 150cc go-kart. Nimble, quick, fast, like a little squirrel, like a little rat. But compared to a truggy, this is like running an insane go-kart. Like a 500 horsepower go-kart, or like these go-karts you see on these videos on YouTube, you know, 900cc Ducati in a go-kart. Now that shit's fucking crazy, man, and that shit is fun. I mean, it looks fun. I've never done it. I'd love that, man. So that's kind of the comparison. Or for guys that ride dirt bikes like me, this is like a 125, badass, or we'll say this is like a 250. This is like a 250, badass, hauls ass, fun and everything. But this is a 500, man. A whole different animal. This is a lethal weapon. Okay? This is a squirrel, nimble, quick, agile, fast. Yes. Lethal weapon. To each his own. Whatever floats your boat. Now, the Techno, if you're a buggy guy, I recommend a Techno. The Technos, they handle just like a buggy. I never believed that, because I talked to some of the guys, because Techno is local to me. They're like an hour away from me. Talked to some of the guys that race for Techno, and I asked them about their, you know, buggies and truggies, and long before I got this thing. And they said, when you rock the Techno NT 48.3, he says, you'll see this thing handles like a buggy. And it does. It's very nimble, very agile. For an 8-scale truggy, it's pretty nimble. And also my, you know, you've seen on the video, my Mugen does too. You know, my Mugen handles very well. It's pretty nimble. Not as nimble as this thing, obviously, but it's pretty nimble. I like it. It's fun. It's fast, as you guys seen. You know, but the 28.8 Rex Legend, modified in a buggy. The Pico I ran through here now, I've ran 2 modded motors, big blocks through this thing. The Pico .28 and this one. Both of them are fun. Both of them smack the ass. And I'm going to run this again. That's why it's still in here. I'm going to run it, but I got to run it someplace open, because I only ran it on the street. I couldn't get full throttle on it. This thing's got 2 gallons through it now. It's ready to just scream its tits off. Excuse my language. Okay? No problem. It's this motor. I love this motor. And now I got a semi-tune on it, but it's not dialed in to where I want it yet. So I'm going to get it out sometime this week. And we're going to rock it, man. I'm going to rock this thing. We're going to toss this bitch around. We're going to beat down, try to put a beat down on this old school MBX Prospect Mugen buggy. Okay? As I mentioned, I am looking to replace these shocks. Not that anything's wrong with these shocks. I just want to put on better shocks. I think these shocks, the new Mugen shocks on here, will benefit this thing definitely. Especially when I'm running bigger motors through it, I can see where this thing isn't really stable. And I think that the newer Mugen shocks will definitely help stabilize this thing a little bit, handle a little bit better, especially when I'm running bigger motors through it. But yeah, we're going to run it through it again. This motor is badass, okay? Now, how does it compare to the RCR modded 28-point Rex Legend? Well, so far, you know, it's hard to compare because I've only ran this thing in the truggy, and I've been running that thing in the buggy. What I want to do also is I want to run this thing some more, and then so I have the feeling and the memory of how this thing runs fresh in my brain. maybe the next day after, or really, you know, close to after running it in the Mugen Truggy, pull the motor out of it, like out now, and drop the RB modded one in there and run it and see, you know, because I need to run it in the same vehicle to compare the two. Now I can tell you that this, and I've ran this thing before, obviously 2 gallons already, so this thing has a little bit more, it seems, in the bottom and in the mid than the RB mods. And if you guys remember, when I opened the RB modded 28.8 up, and I opened up the Rex Legend modded by RCR, the difference that I seen right away was the exhaust port. The exhaust port was open more. Lance opened it up more than actually Rick did. So they both scream. They're both got nasty bottom. I think the porting, this thing has a little bit stronger mid. But I don't know. It's hard to say because, like I said, I have to run them both in the same vehicle. I have to take the same clutch setup, which I'm running a Serpent 4-shoe clutch. I'm running a 14 pinion on here. Stock gearing in here. I think my center gearing, I have different. I can change it. I don't know if I want more bottom or if I want more mid. I think I have different. I know I have them somewhere in here in my parts department here. The Mugen parts department. I know I have the more gearing somewhere. Okay, there's one right there. I don't know how many teeth that is. Probably says on it, no? Don't they usually say? What does it say? Let me see. I can't even read the damn thing. Muggy's blind. But anyway. Okay, that's a 48. I don't know what's on there right now. There might be a 46 on here. But I don't know. Anyway, so that's what's going on with that. The Mugen MBX7, it got nasty. I did, when I was running it, you guys seen on the video, it was running a little bit lean, and my idle screw was a little bit too low. So I opened the idle screw up just a tad, I richened it a little bit on the bottom, and it's dialed. It's fine. I can sit there and bring this thing to a stop. Let it idle for, I can let this thing idle for 20, 30 seconds or whatever, and just punch it, floor the throttle on it, and it sputters a little bit and just hooks up and it's gone. Man, this thing was doing, this motor in this Mugen, I love it. This thing was doing flips, this thing was pulling wheelies, this thing, it was just hard for me to tune the thing, really. I really didn't even, as far as my high-end needle, I got the low-end needle and the idle where I want it, but the high-end needle, I didn't even really mess with the high-end needle at all. I couldn't. I really didn't get it any lean because it just kept pulling wheelies and pulling the front end up. This motor, I love this motor. It's nasty. I'm running it, obviously. I haven't ran the Triton. I don't think I've run the Triton on this one yet. The Triton 2148, I think it's on the buggy right now. Yeah, there it is right there. It's on there. So, also, people, again, this is the shit to clean your pipes. Elbow grease, yes, you're going to have to use a little bit of elbow grease. But, I mean, the results, bling bling. Need I say any more? Look at that. Now, I noticed in Overashi's, once you use them a lot, they don't have the original shine. I mean, you can get them nice and shiny, but still, they get pitted. Every little rock, every little grain of anything puts a pit in these things. I don't know, it seems like the aluminum on these things are soft somehow. I noticed back, if you look in the back where the springs go in there, they get real soft. They look like they almost want to tear through. If they do tear through, you better bet your ass I'll be sending this shit back to Novarasi, saying, what's up, man? I didn't pay $100 for this pipe to have this thing have anything wrong with it. But anyway, that's the 9886 41032. That is the shit right there. And this is the works pipe. But yeah, I use this. It is a little bit elbow grease, but man, it shines these things up, and it takes the little freckles off it. Highly recommended. So anyway, clean your pipes, take care of them. You spend $100 on these pipes is what an average Italian pipe runs, is $100, header and all. You might want to clean them. So anyway, another thing too that I wanted to show you guys is, you know, I know we talk about in the past about how people have issues with electronics and runaways and, you know, glitch busters and all that shit. Now, one thing that I did do on all my Mugens, because the radio tray, the way it's designed, the receiver is in the back. So the motor is back next to this. And as I said in the past, when most receivers or servos get hot, it's no bueno. Heat is not your electronics friend. It's the opposite. It's the enemy. They don't like that shit. You know, that's why they put cooling fans on some of the servos. If you've seen them, you know, you just they don't respond to heat, and they don't like the vibration. So obviously, to eliminate the vibration, you got to make sure that you put those rubber grommets in between when you're mounting your servos, and make sure that your servos aren't resting on your chassis. Your servos have to be up off the chassis, or you're going to have issues. So anyway, what I did, because of the motor being back here on my Mugens, or whatever, if you have a vehicle where your receiver is in the back, you might want to do this. This helps me and keeps it cool. I've taken this. This is the aluminum shit. I told you guys before. You can use the can stuff, but it's just the cans, it's harder to mold it. It seems like this stuff here, which is in the, it's aluminum, but it comes when you open up coffee cans. Like when you get a coffee, buy coffee. I don't know if you guys drink coffee. When you buy coffee, the coffee cans like this, underneath it, when you open it up, it has this piece of aluminum. Now this shit fits perfect. Once you cut it out, it molds really well. So I've put a piece here on the outside, and if you look on the inside, I have it on the inside of my radio tray as well. So I line it. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to deflect any heat from my receiver. Now I've never had a problem with these FlySky GT FS GT3Bs. But just to, you know, eliminate any kind of issues, that's what I do. I put that in there. Also, if you want, you can cut foam, because I don't want my receiver bouncing around in here. I put this little piece of foam rubber in here, and that's how I put this. I cut it out to here, so there's no movement. I don't want my, you know, just less chance of my plugs coming undone or anything, just to keep it from the receiver from bouncing around. Now you can put two-sided tape in there, but that shit comes undone every once in a while. So anyway, that's what I did. There's a tip for you. This shit works better than the cans. The can stuff, if that's all you got, that's fine if you don't drink coffee. But this stuff that comes underneath the coffee lids is a lot better. So anyway, that's for that. But other than that, you know, there's not a lot going on in the cave. You know, we're doing some you know, operation, you know, Traxxas revival here. Man, one of my other nitro buddies came by, and he couldn't believe I had this shit in my cave. He was like, "Bro, what the hell are you doing, dude?" I said, "Hey, before you say anything, this is family. Family is first, man. And my family, my cousin asked me to do this for him. You know, I offered just to do it, you know. He said, I'll pay you for it, you know. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not dumb. I'm not going to pass up a few bucks. You know, he's taking care of me. He's paying for parts, labor for me to fix this shit for his kids. You know, and he might want me, like I said, in the near future to build him a truggy. He asked me, what do you think? And I said, well, if you want something that you don't have to work on all the time, something you don't have to tinker with too much, I suggest a Techno. It is going to cost you a little bit more money. You know, and he roughly said, well, what does it cost one brand new? I mean, I said, I can try to find one used, but if you just want a brand new one and want me to build it, will take more time. I can do that. He said, I don't care. Money's not an issue, you know. And I said, well, it's going to cost you $1,500 or more to build one of these things, depending on what you want in it. You know, he said, I want the works, man. I want a good radio, good servos. I want, you know, an Italian motor in it. And I said, all right. You know, I'll get him a 28.8 Rex Legend bone stock and one of these things, and he'll be happy camper. So anyway, that's in the near future. My cousin Vinny, yo. But anyway, again, shout out to family affairs, you know, bro. Again, no hard feelings. I appreciate you being, being a gentleman. And, he's old school just like me. Family affair. We're two old school guys, gearheads. And sure, I'm sure in the future we're going to butt heads and disagree, on certain things. But, nothing that I think that we should cause divisions in this hobby. I do believe in that. Unfortunately, there's a lot of, bad blood in this industry because there's a lot of people out there that hate. There's a lot of the trolls that I just showed you what a troll is. There's a lot of those people that just like to stir up shit. They're just for ratings, for whatever. And there is 3 more people on my list, and I don't think they're ever going to come off the list because they haven't made any effort or done anything, to clear the air. They say certain things, and but they don't mean it. At least I don't believe that. At least Family Affair reached out to Just Joe because he knows me and Joe are tight. We're brothers, not just Nitro brothers. We're like, brothers. You know what I mean? I got mad love for Joe. I thank you again, Joe, for having a hand and being the mediator between me and Family Affairs. And I hope me and Family Affairs are cool. So anyway, shout out to Family Affairs. People go watch his channel, give him some subs, give him some love, give him some thumbs up. The guy is here to help people. He has a lot of knowledge of Nitro, and more importantly, I think what helps him is he's a gearhead. Okay, just like me and just like a handful of other people. So, shout out to Family Affairs. Badass shit you're doing, man. I wish I had that backyard like you did. I'd be ripping my shit on your track every day. Right after work, I'd be on that track ripping my shit. Anyway, shout out to Just Joe, my brother, man. Again, happy anniversary to you and your lovely wife. Many, many more. Give me a ring when you get a chance. Shout out to Elite RC. Me and him talked the other day. He's got some cool, those of you that are into the drag racing, cool videos. Go give him some subs. Give Elite some love. Give him some views, some thumbs up. Elite's my brother from another mother also. He's probably been with me the longest out of all these guys. Shout out to Gearhead Addict. Shout out to 1/5 RC. I got these guys, that I didn't ask them anything. These guys want to send me gifts. They want to give me, I'm not used to that type of shit. I told them, hey, bro, you don't have, and these are guys that just appreciate what I do. They're like telling me, hey, man, I appreciate you always, answering my questions whenever I text you, whenever I try to get a hold of you and I have a situation or something. You're always there to help me out. I appreciate it. And just to show my love for you, man, I want to give you free. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna, turn down any free gifts. But I don't ask for that stuff. It's pretty cool that these guys want to give me stuff. I got guys saying, hey, I'm going to get you this for Christmas. And like I said, all these guys that I just mentioned, and maybe, just to, as a, how do you say, I don't even know how to say it now. What do I even do with that? A way to show my appreciation and no hard feelings, I might even throw Family Affair one of these things. He's a gearhead. He can appreciate something like this. So, these guys that I mentioned that I talk to on a regular basis and that are my true Brighter brothers are going to get one of these from the Muggy. It's not a lot. They're like 20 bucks or something. But I'm going to give everybody one of these. They're going to have one of these for Christmas, which will be coming up in a few months. Just to, say, hey, the Muggy has got, mad Nitro brotherly love for you, and to show, that you are my brother, and, I'm going to give all these guys one of those, and, I think that they'll be cool in their case. So anyway, shout out to 1/5 again. Always talking to him. That guy's always sending me pictures of he's helping me try to look for a whip. He knows I'm looking for a new whip, and he's been helping me out and making me aware of deals that are out there. Gearhead Addict, me and him talk an hour pretty much every day. This kid's on my heels all the time, eager to learn, wants to get ahead. He's going next level. He's got 4 motors or whatever that are being modded by Lance at RCR. He's talking to Lance. He's networking with me and other people. I mean, that's what it's all about, man. You know, do your homework, do your research, study. Don't just go by what people say, and especially the Muggy Maniac. You do your homework. You go search the facts out, you know. And some people have been doing that. So shout out to those guys. Shout out to Nick Conan. He's another guy that I talk to every once in a while. He's another gearhead addict. He's the one that's been telling me about he's in the 5th scale, plus he races. He used to race, and he's a Kyosho guy. So I know if I go to get a Kyosho, he's the brother that I'm going to, you know. Shout out to Audrey Perez, my amigo, my Latino brother from another mother. You know, we talk periodically. He's sending me the body that I'm gonna do for him with all this. That's gonna be the Scarface body. So, you know, a lot of things are going on in the cave. You know, Muggy's. You know, right now he's got these. I've put my stuff on the side, even though I'm trying to tear down and clean my Mugen and get it, you know, all situated and cleaned up, because you guys know me, I don't like to run another vehicle until my vehicle that I just ran is cherried out, torn all the way down and cleaned to the Muggy standards. Then I break out another whip. So while I'm trying to do that, I'm trying to do the wrenching on this. I mean, look at this fuel, man. You guys ever seen this shit? Talk about old school. Monster was a company that made motors. Trinity actually was a company that made motors. Trinity was an E-word company. Horsepower. Look at that. 16% nitro. Power blend. And this shit's purple, man. It's crazy looking. You can probably see it. It's in here. See that? That's what's in there right now. I should probably take the fuel out of these tanks while they're sitting here. So anyway, that's all the Muggy's got. So anyway, I just wanted to share it with you guys. You know, hey, a lot of times, you know, we just got to let bygones be bygones. You know, it's all water under the bridge, you know, but, you know, certain people are remaining in the Muggy's doghouse, so to speak, just because they choose to do that, you know. So, but again, you know, shout out to you, Family Affairs, and I did this video partly to on camera and to all the nation to make you know, known that we're cool, man. We're cool. And you know, let's move on from here. And I hope to hear from you, comments or whatever on my channel, you know. And just because, you know, I for the most part know what I'm doing, I don't know everything. I'm learning a lot of new stuff every day. So that's all I got, people. The Muggy Maniac is in the search for a new whip. We're gonna get some more motors. We're gonna get some more pipes. We got all kinds of shit in the works. You know, we're going to get another, I got to get another 9986 and 41032. I'm getting another Triton. Getting a couple more motors modified. We got to finish running some fuel through this badass RCR modded 28.8 Rex Legend. Bam! With its new tattoo. Dang it. I'll live. This is a sick ass motor though. I love this motor. I highly recommend Lance's modding, but Rick's good too, man. You know, I'm not taking anything away from Rick. Rick's a great engine modder. I just think Lance does a different level. So anyway, that's all I got. There's almost an hour of the Muggy rambling and a babbling. That's pretty much it, you know. Shout out to, again, all those guys, my brothers from another mother. Those are the Nitro Knights of the Round Table, or the Nitro Cave, whatever. Knights of the Knights of the Nitro Cave. Alright, people, that's all I got. I gotta get ready and get ready for work. So it's 4 o'clock in the morning here. You guys, by the time you guys see this video, it'll probably be either you're at work or on your way to work. So anyway, enjoy. We will catch you on the next video, which will more than likely be the buggy. We got to get it wide open, out in the open somewhere. Wetlands, I don't know when it's going to happen. I might, like I said, you guys see my last video, I'm able to put this camera, my phone on that little setup I have on my radio. Maybe that footage is better than just putting it on the ground. Maybe that's about the best I can get you, and that'll work for wetlands. So we're going to see what happens with that. I'm going to end up just going by myself because I'm not going to wait for this guy. Who knows when he's going to get around to go in there. So anyway, That's all I got, people. Peace. I'm out. Remember, if you're not running your shit, set your piston bottom dead center. Don't leave it up, jammed up. Don't leave it up in your sleeve. Make sure you put some after run juice in there. And also, people, whatever you do it to the best of your ability and whatever makes you happy. Okay? Don't worry about what anybody thinks or what anybody says or whatever, anything. Just whatever makes you happy. Whatever floats your boat, you do that, okay, to your best ability. At the end of the day, regardless of the results you got, as long as you can say you gave it 100%, okay, and you learned something, you got ahead. Alright? So that's all the Muggy's got. I will catch you guys later. Peace.